Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. It's me, Digi. Welcome back to ATS. We're in American Truck Sim today. I'm going to do maybe one or two deliveries and maybe switch over to some retro gaming later. Right now I'm just chilling out today on Sunday afternoon, and I figured instead of flying or doing any kind of development, I figured I'd hit the road, enjoy myself with some trucking, and catch up with everybody in chat. So welcome. Let's hit the road. We got about 46 minutes of sim time until I pick up my first cargo. We're taking some leftover candy to Junction, Texas. It'll be a little bit. Let me just make sure that I am not having problems with my stream. Should be fine now. Let me also double check my stream just to make sure I'm not dropping any frames. Let me see. Yeah, I think I'm fine. I think I'm fine. The one screen I'm using right now is not as powerful as the other ones I normally work with, but it is bigger. I will definitely more easily be able to see chat. But welcome. Hello, happy weekend to you. It is Sunday, and tomorrow is Monday, which means another work week for me. The weekend went by pretty quick. Mrs. Digi and I got to go out and hang out with family and some people that we only see about once a year. So we got the chance to do that, and it was definitely a enjoyable, if not also draining experience, but it was worth it. It was definitely worth it. It's one of those things where it's like you kind of look forward to it, but it also tires you out a bit or a lot. But looking back on it, you're glad you did it, which is basically what happened. So that's where we are. Let me double check something. Nope, gotta stay off the road. But yeah. Sheesh. I streamed on Thursday night and flew in X-Plane 12. And then Friday night went by really fast. Saturday went by really fast. Today is going by really fast. And yeah. Mrs. Digi was not feeling good at all over the past, like, say, 24 hours. So we, I helped her out, or tried to help her out, and then we got to get her some medicine, and now she is resting. She said if I wanted to go live, so here we are. A warm welcome to all of you, whether you are lurking or you're about to chat or you are watching the replay sometime down the road. I do tend to keep my VODs on my channel for a while. I also, more often than not, offload to my YouTube channel. I don't typically share the links much, but at the same time, I I do actually archive my stuff there. I'll probably forget to mention the channel again in the future, so just know that if you miss the stream, the VOD is still up for a while, and it's also likely that I will preserve a copy of the VOD for future. Also, some time ago, I teleported or quick traveled down to Texas. I think I had uh, uh, a garage that was like in North Texas where I was dealing with some trucks that I was driving, and I tried the Mac Vision and the Mac Anthem recently, but I just kept coming back to my Peterbilt, and I'm glad I did. Interesting place. The trailer's on the other side. Let's go get it. Here we go. Let's go get it. Looks like we're taking some leftover Halloween candy up to Junction, which is fine as long as they pay me, right? So, we're good. All right, so 4 hours and 21 minutes of time, and that translates to about a quarter of 40 minutes, which is basically 10 minutes IRL. So a nice little first jaunt to get warmed up to trucking. Again, a good evening to everybody, a good afternoon. Mm. I'm glad I had some leftover coffee. Okay. Off the junction. To my friends that participated in or watched World Flight last week, um, thank you. Thank you for being a part of the experience. I flew one flight in Europe, and I watched on more than one occasion people flying all over the world, and I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. Also, I'm really pleased with how Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 behaves on my system after I did my adjustments. So, is what it is. Had a nice time. I'm just taking it easy this afternoon. I'll probably cook dinner a little bit later, but right now just taking in some virtual vistas in American Truck Sim. Wishing everybody a very good afternoon. Well, I can definitely say fall is here in earnest. The temperature is much colder at night. The day is most definitely shorter at this point. We're back to standard time, so the sun sets really early, and um, a lot of the trees are bare now. We had a strong storm come through my area some like 3 or 4 days ago, and like we almost lost power, but we didn't. I'm grateful. And basically, we dealt with that, and then it just got colder. I don't think it's gonna snow in my area this week. I really don't think, but we're in that spot where it just might. So I'm kind of hoping it does, even if it's only just like a few flakes, just so I can see the snow falling, and then get on with the business of doing work during the week. I am a fully remote software developer, so I'm grateful for the privilege of being able to code in PJs if I want to. And the way I feel right now, I might do that tomorrow. But at the same time, I'm, I don't know, like I'm okay in my moment right now. I'm just trying to chill and relax and just enjoy some trucking. Now, to anyone that's here for the first time or doesn't know this channel, I am a Christian flight sim streamer. I like to fly fake planes to real places in a simulator, or real planes to real places in a simulator. And I also like trucking. I also like doing scenery development for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I want to do scenery development for X-Plane at some point. And I am a retro video gamer. I have old video games, and I like to play games on the Nintendo Entertainment System. I have a 3DS, and I also, nowhere near as often, but sometimes play games on my mobile phone. Nice. A coffee shop called Coffee Break. I've said this before. If you've ever seen me play ATS, you know my affinity for you know my affinity for fake brand names like uh, Dream Burger instead of Burger King, or where was it? We just passed Taco Kingdom. So yeah, huge fan, huge fan of the fake brand names. And it is possible to get a mod installed that replaces them with the realistic brands. And when I drive a truck in Japan, the Project Japan map has realistic brand names as part of its infrastructure. So that's fine. I don't mind that. But whereas some people install mods to get rid of the fake brand names in American Truck Sim, I sincerely enjoy them. In fact, I'm almost diametrically opposed to getting rid of them because it's just a part of the virtual Americana, if you will, which is why I enjoy it as much as I do. I have the entire map so far. I don't think I'm missing anything. I don't think they've released Louisiana yet, and I think Illinois is somewhere on the horizon, which, when I think about it, would be kind of cool if I actually got Illinois, because I have Iowa now, and if I got Illinois, I'd be able to theoretically drive a virtual Route 66 from Chicago to Los Angeles, which would be cool. But at the same time, I like cargo and I like delivering things. So getting on the virtual road to drive one particular slab of highway, it's cool, but it's not like it's not a deal breaker or an issue that would make me upset if they released Louisiana and then, like, Alabama or someplace where I couldn't do Route 66. It's not a big deal for me. I enjoy driving the roads that are available, and I look forward to having more map DLC available for purchase, because this is basically kind of like, a real chill way for me to relax, a real chill way for me to relax and unwind after, for example, a day of work. And I've been playing American Truck Sim for years and Euro Truck Sim for so much longer. And the idea of delivering virtual cargo is there's such a soothing nature to hopping in a virtual truck that this is something that I've done for years and realistically have not gotten tired of, even though I've played other games, for longer stretches of time. I'm just saying, I haven't given up on the ATS and ETS series, and I'm appreciative, definitely appreciative of what SES Software has done to maintain and extend the life of this franchise. It's definitely, for me, the hard work is definitely appreciated. Okay, about halfway through the delivery, we should be at junction, hopefully not too long from now. And then maybe one more delivery, and then we'll figure out what we'll do with the rest of the stream. As it stands, I think I might actually fire up some retro games, unless I do another delivery, which takes me, like another 20-30 minutes, and it's just a quiet stream, which I'm not averse to either. Like, I get it. Some people just like to hang out and lurk and be quiet, and I'm not opposed to that. I'm so grateful for the lurkers on my channel that, by simply you consuming the content passively, I think you're elevating me in terms of Twitch visibility. So thank you for being here, even if you just kind of like switched to my stream and then basically, folded laundry for all I care. Like, thank you. I do sometimes wish that I could just pick the time of day that I would have when I would be delivering cargo, but the day and night cycle in this sim is, I think, like, it's kind of like Minecraft, but a little bit slower. I think it's like a 20 or 30 minute night and day cycle. In Minecraft, it's, I think, a 10-minute night and day cycle, I think. So it's not a huge deal if I don't if I drive during the night. In fact, sometimes it's really chill to do that. Of course, Like a lot of people, I like seeing the landscape that I'm driving through, so it's more enjoyable for me and more picturesque, but is what it is. It's interesting how the artificial intelligence in ATS and ETS is slightly or sometimes radically different. Well, not radically different, but different. So I've driven in the US and Europe maps, and like I said before, the silly thing is sometimes if I'm driving in Japan, I need to make sure I'm not just I'm not just watching myself, but also I'm watching out for traffic because the traffic in Japan apparently sometimes either not wanders over into my lane, but it will actually run red lights. Like it'll run red lights, it'll merge into my lane by accident, like accidentally cut me off, and then basically the deal is, I have to pay attention. Otherwise I'll get a fine for hitting a car. And that's happened a non-zero number of times. Also, the funny thing is, I was driving through Japan and I was just like, okay, I need to get going. I didn't get a ticket for speeding. I got a ticket for driving without my headlights on. So I I found that funny and it's just like, oh, okay, I guess I got to pay attention that way too. There's loads of two-lane driving between where I took off from a junction. Kind of impressed that I didn't get on a highway once. There are still, I want to say, about 5 to maybe 8 towns in the Texas map that I have not checked out yet. I was hoping to drive up north to Laredo to discover that city, but there weren't any cargo deliveries there, and I didn't want to just drive up without a load. Like, yeah, it is possible to drive around and not like have to carry anything, especially if you have people that are working for you in your company. And I think I have right now about 10 to 12 people. So I do have a residual income. But at the same time, I usually like driving around and having a load of cargo to actually, get paid for. So that is preferable to me. Actually, let me stay in this lane. Or not. Nice. That would be a detour. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so here's the question. Is Digi actually going to find a detour or am I going to get impatient? I'm not going up the off-ramp because I can't guarantee that I'll be able to get around the blockage. But apparently I don't have to go very far anyway, so that's fine. This reminds me about 4 weeks ago at this point, I think, which is a little bit crazy, but about 4 weeks ago, I had to get on the road early in the morning to go take Mrs. Digi to get a medical procedure done at a hospital. And I remember we we left real early, like way earlier than I'm used to waking up at, like 5:30 in the morning. 5:30, maybe quarter of 6. And it did take me upwards. It took me way longer than I expected to get to the hospital. But because I left as early as I did, praise Yahweh, I was actually able to get there in time to, make sure I knew where I was going, get parked, take her in, you know, wheeled her in a wheelchair, and she got her procedure done, and she's been trying to deal with the actual procedure recovery ever since. Lyles, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Happy to have you. I'm trucking today in American Truck Simulator, and we are delivering our first cargo delivery to Junction. Had to take a detour because we got diverted off the off ramp that I wanted to take, but all we have to do is just keep going. Hopefully you're well, Lyles. It's good to have you aboard. Folks, if you don't know my friend Lyles underscore VT, Lyles is a friend of the channel and somebody that likes to stream role-playing games a lot. He's streamed Final Fantasy games, Dragon Age Origins, I believe, and more than a few other ones. So feel free to give my friend Lyles a follow if you have not done so. Again, friend of the channel and somebody that I like hanging out with and talking to. So, hey, you baking me crazy. Oh, it is a privilege to have you aboard. God bless you, my friend. Um, Happy to have you here. We are pulling into Junction. We just passed a donut planet and a fast food place called Fast Food. And we are going to deliver some, I don't know, some unsold Halloween candy to the Pickett supermarket that's right here. But it is so nice to have you aboard. You're making me crazy. Thanks for being here. All right. Yeah. Nice supermarket for sure. Okay. Where do they want me to deliver the cargo? Over there? Let's give it a shot. Let's see if Digi still has the stuff when it comes to backing and delivery. All right. Here we go. Let's take it easy. Yep. Okay, delivery number one is complete. Parking brake is set. Let's drop off the trailer. Sweet. $17,604 with a roughly $4,300 proficiency bonus. Let's see what cargo they have. Now, I've never seen this symbol before. I don't know if this is an indication of inclement weather or if there are detours. Which, oh, you know what this might mean? It might mean that the route isn't exactly public. I would be very, very curious, kind of curious, but at the same time, I really don't care right now. So I think I'm going to skip that for now. Let me see if I can find somewhere else. Wait, it wasn't Laredo. It was, wait, was it Laredo? It might have been, but that makes no sense. I left Laredo. I think I was trying to go to Del Rio. That makes sense. Let's see, anything in the freight market? Oh no, that's like an hour and a half. I'm good. All right, let's go ahead and head on over to, let's see, do I want to go to San Antonio or San Angelo? I think I've been to Abilene, but I do not know. I think we'll take that delivery. We'll take some waste paper. Okay, so the loading area is over there. Let's get the trailer and get out of here. There we go. Connecting the trailer. That's it, we're set. Bye bye, picket. All right. So fortunately, a right turn out of the parking lot. That's it. Second delivery over to Abilene. Because I think I've been to San Angelo already. I don't know if I've been to Abilene. I think I might have been. I don't remember. Whew. You're right. One of those days where it's like you just go from one end of the day to the other, and you just kind of amazed how fast it goes. I think I'm living one of those days right now. All right, so we're going north on US 83. You've had a lot of them recently. Hey, I I've kind of had those moments lately where I'm just kind of like taking stock of where I am mentally, spiritually, financially. I've just been trying to make the most of where I am, and sometimes, there are cool things in life, and sometimes there are really difficult things. I know that I know Mrs. TG was having a rough time of it lately, getting over her procedure and trying to feel better. I will readily confess there are moments where I wish that I could help her with some of the pain that she's experiencing, but the best that I can do is make things as comfortable for her as I can, and pray to Elohim that he makes the opportunity happen where she can get better. She's been dealing with that for years, and as somebody that loves her very much, it is not easy seeing somebody that you care about deal with significant amounts of pain over time. It will test your mettle. It'll test your resolve as an individual. I will say that. Let's see, roadwork ahead, down to one lane. Okay, not much. Which button is it? There we go, that button. I found the button to resume my cruise. That's good. But yeah, the past month has been rough. Not gonna lie. The interesting thing about the past month has been the support that I was not expecting to receive from my job. Um, I've talked about, struggles or work-life balance issues I had. Well, not really work-life balance issues, just lots of work, hard work, and feeling fried and challenged. And fortunately, I'm with a group now that actually takes that stuff very seriously. So I've had some meaningful conversations with staff, and hopefully this week I'll get some relief. And like I said before, we've talked about this on stream more than once before, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. But basically, like, I'm not trying to base my life off of spurts of retail therapy anymore. And I'm not saying going out to eat all the time is the answer to my problems. I know that. I get it. In fact, I think the past 6 months to a year alone have definitely taught me a lot about what it is that I should or shouldn't be spending my money on. And that's not even talking about buying things, I'm just talking about living. There are lessons that I've taken away from the past couple of years, past 5 years, that are going to shape my finances and my spending habits forever. So definitely to the extent that I have been transformed by the events of the past year, like, that's literally it. I have been transformed by the events of the past year. But there's also something to be said for learning from circumstances like that. There's certain mistakes that I never want to make again. There's certain bad choices that I never want to make again. There's certain sins I never want to commit again. And when you've had your rear end handed to you in such a thorough way by something, you tend to pay attention in the future. At least I do. But I'm grateful for those lessons because they are shaping me into somebody who is definitely doing his best to try to do better. On the bright side, all those rough moments make even the tiniest victories, whether with Mrs. Digi or myself, more enjoyable. We um, we took some time to do some shopping yesterday, and um, we basically swung into one of those value stores, not like a dollar store, but basically, you know, if you have those stores where like you can get discounts on things, um, like Five Below, for example, you can buy some really kind of like interesting stuff for like not that much money. So we 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 basically picked up a couple of Lego Christmas trees, and we're probably going to put them together this week. Also, um, funny thing, a lot of you know that like I've basically been in Christmas mode since like you know past Labor Day. So about 3 or 4 weeks back, Mrs. DG got the Christmas tree out, and it was out for like a week before we um, put it together. And then it was just like the Christmas tree with the built-in lights and nothing else for about a week. And then I made up my mind. I said, okay, every time that I have a few minutes in the course of my day, I'm going to add a couple of decorations to the tree. So over the course of like 5 days, or like 6 or 7 days, when I had a moment, I put a few decorations on the tree. And I did that fairly regularly. So the tree is now mostly trimmed. So it's funny. It's funny how just choosing to do something like that works out. Just taking a shot here. And let's see, where's the morning light's coming in that way. No, one is fine. So, oh, almost missed my exit. Um, you making me crazy. You know how I feel then. Um, See, the thing that I like about Christmas isn't getting presents so much anymore. Although, hey, listen, like I like things. I like stuff, okay? I'll be transparent. I like stuff. But you if you want to gift me a Switch 2, fine. I will gladly accept it. I won't buy one, but I'll gladly accept it if somebody buys me a Steam Deck. Okay. But somewhere between somewhere between Rona and modern times, like between where I am and where I was, I I grew to appreciate being around people so much more than before. And there is something to be said for breaking bread with people at Christmas and just spending time together. And I don't know, like I might get a little emotional talking about this, but I don't care. I have had I've had a non-zero number of people that I care deeply about pass away over just the past like 3 years, not even the past five. And those are the kinds of things that they leave a mark on you. You don't just live life the same way you used to when someone you care about passes on. And I don't even know how to describe it. It's just made me appreciate wanting to be around my family and my friends much more, even though I am an introvert with extroverted tendencies. The reason I know that I'm an introvert is because after I spend a lot of time hanging around people, I like to be I like to spend a few moments alone to process. Now, it doesn't have to be a long time. It can just be a few moments. But I want to be in a place where like I can just kind of go, you know, cool. I spent time hanging around with family. Cool. I went on a trip. Cool. I did blah blah blah. Let me just chew on that, and then boom, I'm good, and I can get back to life. Or it takes me a little bit longer to get back to life, but it is what it is. It's not me saying no, no, no. I don't want to be around anybody. It's just like I just want a little bit to reset. That's all. I will say though, the things that have happened over the past year with regards to Mrs. Digi's health have made me appreciate the time that we spend together, period. So, like, I'm at that point now where I, I I'm just, I'm legit starting not to care about whether or not I do full flights. Like, let me qualify that. Whether or not I do flights from start to finish, if I'm getting ready to go and all of a sudden it's like she needs me or she needs me to help her with something, it's like, okay, stop what you're doing, go help her. It's just how it should be. Hey Sogan, I'm sorry I missed your message. It's good to see you. You think you found a fix for the haze and X-Plane? That's fantastic, man. Um, drop the answer for me in Discord because I think it would be really cool to have, I don't know, more realistic atmospheric effects. I suspect it's more like an adjustment to the calculation for haze. But yeah, please let me know. Um, to be honest, I think I'm really enjoying the digital therapy session right now, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep this up. Do I want to go to Odessa? Maybe. Oh, I can finally go to Del Rio. No, I'm good. No, man, you had your chance. Nope. I think we're about to leave Tex. So good. So so good. You're amazing. It's all sentimental and emotional. Meanwhile, I'm like, herder, Lusker. I saw herder, and all of a sudden I thought Swedish Chef. Oh, that's hilarious. Uh, dude, thank you so much. That's funny. That made me chuckle. That was needed. That was needed. Uh, but okay. Chat. A little bit of context for you. I flew an X-Plane 12 on Thursday, and it was kind of like a flying review. Your social ineptitude? Oh, dude, you haven't even seen social ineptitude, so you met me. So it's all right. You're in great company. I'm not even mad. Thank you so much. What was it? Oh yeah, going on about Explain. So basically, Explain 12.3 released, and the atmospheric effects are fantastic. But apparently, 43% humidity in Tokyo look like 100% humidity in Tokyo. Now, I'll go ahead and confess, I'm not a meteorologist. I don't have a fascination with the weather, but Sogan's point was that the haze effect in X-Plane 12.3 seems to be unrealistic given the actual weather conditions and what the sky should probably look like under less than 100% haze. So, point taken. Point taken. If there's a Lewis script that makes it more realistic, fine. Because I mean, if I'm flying out of Philly or Atlanta or Charlotte, and it's a cold winter day, I don't think I want it to look like it's 100% humid. I would want it to look realistic. Now, with that said, the advancements in weather and clouds and graphics overall in X-Plane 12.3 are wonderful. They have certainly given Microsoft a run for their money, and I will, as a result, be doing a significantly greater number of flights in X-Plane 12 over the coming months because the graphics look great. Sogan, welcome aboard, my friend. I'm so happy to have you here. Thanks for being a part of today's stream, and wishing you well wherever you are and whatever it is you're up to. Um, Hopefully this week at work is not like, major chunky difficult. I will go ahead and say though that friends like you, Sogan, make the journey like so much easier. Family, of course, friends as well. Yahweh above everything. With that said, um, I was talking about driving and how I appreciated getting on the road over the last couple of weeks. My job here is done. Did nothing. You simply exist, my friend. Thank you for existing. Thank you for being here. I sincerely appreciate you. You are a blessing to me, Sogan. Thank you so much for being here. I need to let me rephrase that. Being in a truck, even virtually, makes me think of holiday travel plans. I need to get in touch with some people to figure out whether or not I'm going to be doing any traveling around Christmas time. And if I do, it won't be massive, won't be more than like say a day or two outside the normal schedule. I will most likely not be streaming on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve as I spend time with family. And I don't know what's up with the coming month. It's crazy amazing to consider that we're in November now and next month is literally December. Of course, that's how it works on our normal calendar. I get it, but I was joking with and teasing about the idea of, oh, I'm a weirdo. I listen to Christmas music in September, and like now we're into what, the second full week of November, and Thanksgiving is more than a thought. Now it's like, People are going to get turkeys and probably already start to like store them or thaw them by next week. Um, Seriously, that's my life right now. It's just this blazing intercontinental ballistic missile of life, like literally like events. And then it's just like, oh, okay, Christmas is here. It's like, whoa, whoa. It's like, slow down. I don't want the Christmas season to go by that fast. But I'm glad that where I am is where I am. Like, I wanna I wanna do better this Christmas. I would like the quote unquote doing better to involve being able to do things for Mrs. Digi and other people. But unfortunately, I haven't been able to find a different job for the past, like, 6 months to a year. I've been trying to find one. But fortunately, I am extremely grateful to actually have a job. Some people do not have that right now. And that is a fact that is not lost on me. I am very grateful for my employment, even if it's not what I desired it to be from a dream fulfillment perspective. Like, oh, I get to wake up and do whatever I want to. Like, say very few people these days. And I have the ability to provide for my family's needs and even to catch the occasional, eat the occasional burger and fries. So it's like, I don't wanna be in a spot where I'm complaining because there's so much that I'm grateful for. we, we can always crack jokes about things like, digi floating landings in Flight Simulator, or like me getting stuck on interchanges in American Truck Sim. But um, at the same time, I like to live, pushing from both ends. I'm both I'm both sincerely grateful for the things that I've been provided for that are serious needs, and I'm also very grateful for the ability to chuckle and make jokes about some of the issues of life that are silly, you know, like bad landings in a sim, or um, fun games to play. I think I probably will play some retro games later tonight, but I also want to make sure that I'm available to help with things like making dinner. And there's also some biz dev talk that I want to have that Mrs. Digi wanted me to have with her, so I want to make sure I'm available for that as well. Um, I think it stems from a desire to be deliberate and intentional about living differently than I usually do. Like, you know, people talk about being in a rut, and like the concept of getting out of the rut involves significant amounts of energy, sacrificing your time, sometimes sacrificing your resources. But it's kind of like, okay, knucklehead, are you actually going to do something, or are you just going to go ahead, sit the way you usually do, eat the foods you usually eat, and talk about the opportunities that you'd like to have, but that you're not going to have unless you actually um, do something different? Very Texas authentic. Okay, I'm gonna skip the unload, see if I can squeeze out one more delivery, because I think after the next delivery I do, I'm probably gonna call it. How long have I been on anyway? Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. Let's do a slightly longer delivery and see if we can get into New Mexico. I don't want to go to Eastern Texas. And as tempting as it would be to get to Utah, that's like 40 some odd minutes, so I'm going to skip that. We'll take some more waste paper to Clovis. I don't think I've been here. I haven't been in New Mexico for quite a while in the sim. Let's go ahead and load up. This is probably gonna be my last loadout of the day unless I squeeze out like one more quick in-town delivery or something. But thank you to everybody that's tuned in today or that's been lurking. It's a privilege to stream for you and to share my time and my story with everybody. If you have just wandered in and you're wondering what's going on, my name is Digi Driver. I am a flight sim streamer and content creator creating airport sceneries, but many times I like to play other games like American Truck Simulator, Euro Truck Simulator 2, as well as even the occasional retro game. I think I did like a retro gaming stream earlier this year. I want to say like February or March or something, but I don't typically do those very often. In fact, I rarely do them. So, is what it is. Did you need help? Okay. All right. So, another, I think, like 10 to 15-minute jaunt, and we'll see where we are. Superb. Everybody's going my way. Cargo theme for today seems to be food and trash. This is my second, I think, waste paper delivery, which is also cool. Oh, we got some rain. At least I'm not eating trashy food. Noted, sir. Noted. I did have some steak yesterday, though. It was very good. I think ground turkey is probably in the food forecast, along with probably one or two other dishes, and me going through a bunch of vegetables that are in the fridge as we prepare for another week of gastronomic adventures. So I'm trying to figure out what to do about that. I don't know. Probably gonna be more pressure cooked cuisine. Interesting. Nice. They're still building the infrastructure here. It's so cool. So cool. I'm a big fan of how SES has really understood the assignment with regards to American roads and infrastructure. I mean, that's my opinion. I could be very wrong, but it does look pretty similar to this in the States, if not exactly this way. Steak is too high society for me. I just stick it on a bun and make it a burger. Nice. I would probably have to either literally run steak through a grinder and turn it into like beef to use in like soup or something, or like literally cut the steak into pieces and then try to eat it like a burger. I'm a fan of flank steak. I used to almost exclusively eat New York strip steak, and I haven't eaten too much T-bone, but I am a huge fan of like beef cube, or basically like leftover pieces steak, because those pieces go really well in beef stew or like pot roast. They're really easy to work with. Otherwise, I'm a huge fan of cooking chicken, not so much of cooking pork, like pork chops, because you really have to pay high levels of attention to um, to the pork. So in general, I think I like cooking either chicken or steak. It's usually way less of a kitchen hassle. It's not impossible to cook pork. You just have to know what you're doing. And by know what you're doing, I mean pay attention, maintain awareness of where the pork is in the process. Because just like it's easy to make pork that's undercooked, it's extremely easy to make pork that's like tough. And basically, once you get to the point where like you overcook a pork chop, while it's technically still edible, it's not going to be something that, unless you're fully committed to the dinner, it's not going to be something that you're going to enjoy eating. So it's one of those things where you really have to pay attention and just make sure you aren't messing up. But cooking is cool. Cooking is cool. Like, you know, if you get into it, or like if you go for it, if you're like, okay, we're making dinner, then it is a therapeutic experience for me. With finesse. There we go. Well, like I said, like that's the thing. Unless you're cooking pork, it's relatively, if you've even cooked stuff once, it's almost hands off in spots with chicken or beef. Especially if you're making like a stew or anything where like you're making a casserole. It's it's nice. Like you can make it happen. But I think one of the things that I want to try doing in the future is being a little bit more committed to not just the process but the presentation. Figuring out how to make plates look great. I mean, a family saying is, "Hey, listen, it's all going to the same place," but I wanna put in maybe like a little bit of extra effort to make it look even better. Like if you can put in 10% extra effort for 40% better visuals, then I'm down with that. I am. I think it's going to involve more patience, more timing, and an eye for what I want my dinner to look like before I even finish cooking. Food aesthetics. There we go. That's essentially what I was reaching for. Um, well, presentation. I'm not talking about, three Michelin star, four Michelin star restaurant level presentation. I'm just saying, like, if I'm gonna make steak, if I'm gonna make rice, if I'm gonna make vegetables, if I'm gonna make pasta, figuring out how to put everything together on a plate that it looks good. That's what I'm talking about. Personally. Also, I want to get really good at things that I do at work. I'm learning a lot more about one specific topic that they want me to research. So I'm kind of finding my voice and trying to communicate my concerns and my desire for what I'm doing or what I'm trying to do in terms of learning things to my team. So these are the things that go through Digi's head on a daily and a weekly basis. Given that we're in November and that stuff is probably not going to happen on the career level until next year, I'm not going to worry too much about um, job searching. I want to do good at what I do so that if I happen to schmooze around people or hang out with other people that happen to be in the industry and they have questions or they're curious about me, I can talk. But otherwise, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go bananas about that stuff right now. I'm just not. All right. We've pulled off the highway, but we're not at our destination just yet. We got a little bit more to go. Um, agreed, friend. Definitely agreed. 1000%. Like, this isn't a question of, oh, well, Digi just sucks at interviewing. Like, he could do better. No, it's way different than that. So, it's literally one of those instances where I'm strategically not caring right now and doubling down on things that I can learn and improve on and be better at just to be more well-rounded. And I can go into detail in that in on a conversation in Discord in the water cooler, tech water cooler channel to kind of break down my thoughts about the past like 6 months. I'm just talking about like my journey, not everybody else's. And I mean, I've not seen, I've heard a lot of comments about the just the different place where some people are that just can't get hired. So for me personally, like I've experienced that in part, and I'm not quitting on the idea. I'm not giving up. I'm just choosing not to do anything for the next little while. And I think that's going to give me some energy back to be able to make myself better as a result. Yeah, like circumstances being what they are, like the tech landscape being what it is right now, I'm just I really have no interest in pushing myself beyond what I'm capable of. I tried doing that for about a year and a half. I've learned my lesson. I'm not saying it didn't benefit me. I'm just saying I've learned my lesson. But the upside of all that is that I walked away with so much knowledge and skills that I developed in the midst of those situations that already have paid off. So I'm happy. Um, does it mean I have to exercise more patience in certain matters? Of course it does. But I'm happy with regards to that. Dude, the landscape around here looks really cool. Wow. I mean, you can't drive everywhere, I know, but the the horizon, being able to look at things and look at the horizon as a whole, this looks wonderful. I don't know when they're going to release Louisiana for American Truck Simulator, but I'd like to buy it because again, hashtag Journey to Florida. That's one state closer. After Louisiana, you have Mississippi, Alabama, and then like what, a teensy bit of Georgia and Florida. I believe you have to go through Mississippi to get to Alabama, but if we're talking about like Interstate 10, I see this out my window and I'm over it. Yes, yes, there is something about the familiarity principle and how you just kind of like you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I live here, cool. But like I was saying before, the leaves on the trees where I am are really starting to disappear because of like weather and like strong winds. But I'm grateful that I got to go through another autumn season and see the colors come in. It That's one of the things about fall that I like so much. And then right after that is basically the weather getting colder, having an excuse to drink more like warm stuff, and basically get to these days. So I will say I am grateful for being able to experience this every year. So I'll take what I'm given right now. I don't know if I'm interested in buying the road trip DLC, like being able to drive a pickup truck or like a Dodge Viper. I don't know. Like I associate American Truck Simulator with trucking so much that even in Euro Truck Sim 2, where I could theoretically drive a car whenever I want to because I own as many businesses as I do, I like driving trucks. Like this is a big thing for me. If we're talking about scenery in ATS in general, then yeah, you're going to have issues with some issues with variety when you talk about things like how much they can actually do or show, because in the one sense, you have a compressed map, um, you know, trucking really happening on the road, on the big roads. So you're not going to see as much as maybe you'd like to see. Oh, okay, Texas, okay. Okay. I definitely like driving in an ATS. Now, okay, are the Ozarks north or like East Texas? Actually, you're not wrong. I'm sure there's this diversity of like ecosystem and plants and stuff in the desert that you wouldn't expect to see. Just like you wouldn't expect it to actually get cold in the desert, but it does get cold in the desert, like really cold. So, yeah, I think you're right about that. Driving through Nevada and Arizona in the sim is just amazing. Geology, yep. and clearly the Grand Canyon, which I think I'd like to visit once in my life, and then basically that's about it. But definitely. All right. This is amazing. Let's bring it on home, chat. Let's see what we can do. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of work to get this thing in there. That's fine. I might be too close to the other trailer, so let me fix that. Oh yeah, this should be much easier now. Let's fix this up. I think this should be fine. No, not quite actually. Got lulled into a false sense of security. Should probably be okay. There we go. Way over, but just fine. Okay, so that was like 3 or 4 deliveries. That's not bad. That is not bad. All right. So, can I actually see my career progress for just today? Uh, yes, delivery log. Yes, so there we go. Candy and then waste paper, paper, and waste paper. So we got from Laredo all the way to Clovis in New Mexico today. And let's take a look at what my company's been doing in my absence. Okay, so let's see. Over the past, I'd say couple days, we've been around what, like 8, 10 to 11,000 in terms of overall profit. And Saskia has made an average profit of about $7,300 a day, which is great. So there we go. We got like about 13 other drivers with trucks. including Mack, Volvo, and Freightliner Cascadia. So Elaine has kind of, while not the most profitable employee, has some of the highest numbers of, I think, skills and certifications. Let me actually take a look. Oh, I'm sorry. Martin does. Wow. Martin's on point. Yeah, the only endorsement he doesn't have is his corrosive substances, and yeah, kind of happy that I gave him the Mac Anthem. Yeah, he's definitely taking care of business. If I made that kind of money, dude. Um, I have like 285 thou, so I'm probably either gonna buy a truck and hire another driver, or maybe save up for another garage. I'm in no hurry to do that right now because I'm enjoying trucking and sharing time with you guys in chat. But I think for today, that's gonna go ahead and call it. I will probably try to do some dev this week in terms of scenery dev for Lafayette in Louisiana. I'll probably, to be completely honest with you, if I even do 5 or 10 minutes a day, that'll be it. But I want to get back to being consistent. I want to build consistency. I know how good it is to be able to get into a good habit and just keep rolling it. I just get ahead of myself and go, oh, I can do 30 minutes, I can do an hour. It's like, but what if you can't? You know, I just want to be okay with like 5, 10 minutes a day, 5, 10 minutes a day, and just increase the skill, increase the skill, increase the consistency, get better, get better, get better. But I can't get better if I don't do anything. So maybe I'll sneak a dev stream in during the week, like quiet, or just keep you guys up to date on my Discord and figure out how to blitz through making the terminal buildings and the buildings at the airport because I want them to be custom. But we'll see what happens. And I'm not gonna push myself beyond my limits. I'm just gonna make what looks good or what works for the time being, and I'll figure out how to make them look good and be textured and stuff like that. But that's it. Folks, I will probably catch you around the Twitchverse. I might be flying on stream with some friends tonight. I won't be streaming myself, but if I don't, I will probably, duck into and out of streams like Charlie Foxtrot, Studio Canuck, my friend Pierre Luck, unless he's busy with the move and stuff like that, and all these other amazing people that I get to talk to on Twitch. Like I always like to say at the end of every stream, if you want true peace, you want the Prince of Peace, and that's Jesus Christ. I'm gonna go chill, use my feet, maybe cook some dinner, and catch up with all of you throughout the week. If you are a member of my Discord, stay tuned for updates and the like. Sogan, a privilege having you aboard. Thanks to everybody that stopped in. Thanks to Lyles and you baking me crazy for saying hello. And yeah, definitely grateful for all of you. Folks, have a great rest of your night and a great rest of your Sunday. Take care, and until next time.